Okay, now we're going to do some examples of applying the limit laws. So now the first one, we have a sum, right? So we're going to use the sum law, and we're going to split this up into two limits, and this will be the limit as x approaches -3 of 4x plus the limit as x approaches -3 of 2. Now, we then can use the product, the constant, right? This is a constant multiplied by f of x, so that x is a function. So now we can apply the multiplied by a constant rule, right? And so then this will become the limit as x, oh, hold on. This will be 4 times the limit as x approaches -3 of x plus the limit as x approaches -3 of 2. Now the cool thing here is, guess what? Though these two limits now are those two basic rules of limits, right? The limit of x and the limit of 2, a constant. So we can just use those two basic rules. So that means this is going to equal 4 times this limit, which is going to be -3, 4 times -3 plus, and then the limit of a constant is just the constant, so that's going to be 2. And so this ends up being -12 plus 2, which equals -10. And that's the limit of this function, 4x plus 2. Now look, notice that we have in the second example a little bit more complicated, but again, if we do this step by step, take your time, it'll just be easy. So, first thing I'm going to do is split it up into a quotient of the limits, right? So I'm going to use the quotient rule. So this is going to be the limit as x approaches 2 of 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 divided by the limit as x approaches 2 of x cubed plus 4. And now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to apply the sum and difference laws to the top and the bottom. So now this is going to equal the limit, I'm just going to write this out. Okay, and now I'm going to start using the other laws, right? So we've got the multiplying by a constant law, we've got the power law that we're going to use, and then we'll be finished and we can start evaluating these limits. So let's keep going here. And then finally, now I'm going to do this power, and then we can just apply the two basic rules, and we'll be able to evaluate and simplify our answer. Okay, so now notice that we can just apply the basic rules, the two basic rules that we talked about. And so now this is going to become 2 times what? The limit of x as x approaches 2, right? The limit as x approaches 2 of x is going to be just 2. So this is just going to be 2 squared minus 3 times 2 plus 1. And then in the new denominator, we just have 2 cubed plus 4. And then, so for our final answer, we're just going to simplify this. So this gets what? We get 2 squared times 2 is 8. Minus 6 plus 1 over 8 plus 4, which is going to equal 3 over 12, or 1/4. And so the limit of this expression, of this function, is 1/4. And that's it. And that's how you use the limit laws to evaluate limits, more complicated looking limits. Have a great day.